My name is Nicola Hamill-Phillips. I'm the HR Director at Simulate, and this is my colleague Corinne, who is one of our recent interns and graduates. And today what we're going to talk about is more the kind of why you want to apply for an OR type role, and also how you go about it. And then Corinne's going to talk a little bit about her experience going through the process as well. I was going to get through with that, and it's my second time. Why OR, first of all? You might not realise it, or you might, but all organisations need to make big decisions, and this takes the guesswork out of these decisions by using kind of data and analytics in order to kind of aid the process. Simulate in particular, we do simulation software, which is used at some of the universities in the UK and the US. You might be familiar with it. If you're not, what we do is we simulate business processes in our software, and we sell the software because we're a software company, but we also do consultancy, and the selling that we do is quite consultative as well. So we might have companies like BA is one of our customers who will take their data and will model certain processes such as baggage handling, or it could be flights coming in at certain times, or we can do a what if scenario. So if the snow's quite bad, like it was a couple of years ago, then we can kind of simulate that process. Why OR? Again, why simulate? You could work for BA, but if you work for Simulate, then you get to work with all of these companies, and this is just a very small percentage of the companies that you work with. So going on to the how. Being the HR director, this is my kind of part of expertise. So I'm going to talk a bit about networking, the application process, the selection process, internship, or if you're going for a straight graduate role, that part. Corinne's going to cover that. Networking. Today is a really great example of networking. You get to speak to organisations who are doing the recruitment already and hear certain talks about their kind of process. You also have quite generic recruitment fairs at your universities and employer events. And I would suggest that if you're interested in companies, have a look. They've got lots of information on different events that they're going to throughout the UK and also in-house. Get onto LinkedIn. It's a fantastic tool. Everybody's on it. What you can do today is take away business cards and just start adding people and send emails. I think what we really find is when we come to events like this, and if we're speaking to certain graduates or talking about an interesting project, if you send me an email, I'll remember you. And also do your research before you go to these events. So you're better researching companies you're interested in and go up and ask them questions. That's what they're there for. And we love that. So come and speak to us. The application process, you'll probably find that you'll have to send in a CV or do some sort of application. My advice would be to tailor it to the organisation if you've got a covering letter. In my experience, I've had a lot of kind of covering letters sound fantastic. They're telling me about their course, what they're interested in, what their part-time job's all about, and then it gets to the end, and that's why I like to work for British Gas. So you'll find that you do have to do a lot of copying and pasting. We know you're applying to lots of other organisations, but just be meticulous and also spell check. We're looking at every piece of information that you give us, because that's an insight into your personality, and attention to detail is a really good one for terms of kind of soft skills that you're looking for in any role. Professional email address. These are email addresses that I have had people apply to me from, and this is our first kind of chance of meeting you. So we have the likes of Paisley Pans, the wee curly one, and Frank Hates Cats, and these people never got jobs with us, not just because of the email addresses, but this is your first impression. We're a really fun company to work for. Casual dressing, flexible working, socialise probably too much, but I think for that first impression you still have to be professional. Next one, don't lie in your covering letter or embellish your CV, because this is our job. We look at CVs and day in, day out, and we will ask you about it in interview, not to catch you out, but because we're interested in it. So don't feel the need to embellish it, because if you're getting taken to the interview process, we already know that you can do the job, and we're just wanting to find out more about you. and stand out from the crowd. We want to see your personality. As I said before, if you come to an interview, we already know you can do the job. We're looking to see how you fit into our team or our company, and we want to hear about your interests. So if you're a Zumba instructor, you're into mountain climbing, if you do volunteering, this is all good experience that you get, because okay, you might have an internship and you might have a part-time job, or you might have a part-time job that's not in relation to maths. Who would have thought that? However, you could be in customer service and have to deal with stressful situations where you're under pressure, or working in a bar. I mean, I don't fancy that job in my life because it must be stressful. But if you're working in that kind of atmosphere, it gives us a really good insight into what your personality is like. Selection process. When you're coming to an interview, do your research on that company. Talk about products, talk about pricing, talk about competitors. We want to know that you're interested. Practice your answers. Most organisations will do competency-based interviews, and we will expect examples. So examples of your past experience. It doesn't have to be in relation to university or an internship. It could be your part-time work or what you volunteer to do. Look the part. Again, I mean, we are very casual dressed, probably too casual. We don't dress like this normally. But when it comes to an interview process, come to us as though we would expect you to go out to a customer. So business dress for any organisation. Stay calm, which is a really good one. What you need to do is, the questions can be daunting, it can be a daunting process. We've all been there, we know what it's like, we've got a lot of sympathy. But I think when it comes to questions, just take your time. Like, don't feel like you need to answer straight off the bat. Awkward silences are absolutely fine. Just take a few minutes to kind of gather your thoughts and then think about the kind of method that you're given. STAR methodology is a really good way of doing that, which is describing the situation, the task that you had to do, the action you took, and the result. And it's a very simple process of what, and you guys are the processes, so you'll be able to do that no bother. And ask questions. Even if we've answered all your questions, even if you say, I had these as questions and you've answered them, that's fine, but it makes you look as though you're interested in the organisation. So I'm just going to pass you on to Corinne, she's going to talk about our internship.
Okay, guys. I know it's the end of the day and you guys have been here all day, and I know there's a couple of people maybe in the front row looking a wee bit sleepy. No? No? We're okay? Okay, so I'm going to talk about me, myself and I, and my experience. So when I left secondary school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had family who were engineers. I had friends who were going into the engineering field, and there's a lot of money to be made in engineering. I don't know if that's the same now, but I left school and I went to Strathclyde Uni and I did electronic and electrical engineering. I did that for a couple of years, and then I thought, you know what, I really don't like microprocessors. I don't want to build a robot. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. What do I actually like in the course? And I liked maths, and it's okay to say that in front of you guys because you like maths, so that's fine. And I like processes. I like understanding from an input to the process to the output. Like for example, McDonald's, fast food, you go in, you order your meal, what's the actual process that's going on there? Are we getting the fries, are we getting the burgers, what's happening? And then we're leaving satisfied customers. That's all process improvement, and that's what our software is used for. So when I was doing the electronic and electrical engineering, get it out, it's the end of the day, I researched various courses to do with maths. And I looked at maths with finance and accounting. I like numbers, but I don't think I'd be a good accountant. Maths with teaching, I like kids, but I couldn't do it on a daily basis. But then I found mathematics and management science. And I don't know if you guys get asked this all the question, what is management science, what is operational research? Something to do with business because we get management in there, but what's the science got to do with it? It's all about using our data, using our analytical knowledge to build the graphs, to build the simulation models, and use our mathematics to help these management members make the best decisions for their companies. So how I got into Simulate was exactly through my course. So through mathematics and management science, I used Simulate. And that's how I found internship. So I attended a careers day just like this, where Simulate was there. We're a Glasgow-based European headquarters in Glasgow, straight across the road from my uni, which is fantastic. Our founder, who actually created the software, was a past lecturer at Strathclyde University many moons ago. And I was really taken aback, and hopefully you guys are taken aback today, about how interesting Simulate is, okay, we're working with companies like BA, DSTL, we're doing all that, but it's the actual core tool that we're using, and we're going into all these different areas. So I had the application process of just what Nicola said. I handed my CV in, I made an impression on the day, I asked the right questions, and our CIO, Francis Sneddon, still remembers me to this day because I asked the relevant questions and I showed an interest. Handed my CV in, I got an interview, a telephone interview the same week. Past that, went into to have an interview the following week. And like interviews, you're thinking, okay, I'll sit in front of Nicola and I'll answer a couple of questions and might have a consultant there. But I didn't actually think I'd be interviewed by the CEO of the company. And I don't think a lot of people my age can have to say that, you know, and I'm quite proud of that. And thankfully I made an impression and I had the internship. So as Strathclyde had good links with Simulate, I was able to do my fourth year honours year project with Simulate, and that was understanding quality assurance within the workplace. So I was building models in relation to the back office processes. So going through our whole sales process and understanding exactly what irrelevant tasks can be removed and how much time we're spent on, for example, filling in sales forms or processing different invoices that really don't need to be sent out. So I was thankful for that. I also get offered to do an external client project, which I thought I was just shadowing a consultant on, but then I got thrown into the deep end and it was a £30,000 project for a pharmaceutical company in the States. So I was terrified because I was thrown into the deep end, but I had a lot of support from the consultant, so I went through the whole phase of project management within that. So I did the scoping, I did the data analysis, I did the simulation model, then I had to provide the report and do a presentation for the end client, which was a bit daunting, but it was great experience and great exposure for myself for the client-consultant relationship that all you guys need to gain. Also, with the Simulate, we have many users all over the world, so that's what part of the internship was to provide support to them, and that was building my own knowledge of the simulation, modelling techniques, and to understand what is our clients actually using the software for. And as we are a software company, we do need to have some really sexy demos. So that's exactly what I built. I built some really cool demos that if you want to see them, you can come out to the stand and have a wee look. And that again increased my knowledge of Simulate and simulation projects in general. We also had the company outing in my internship. So that's a picture of the gang just there. We're not a big group, but that was just taken at Loch Lomond, where we had a company there every year on the banks of Loch Lomond, where we went jet skiing and we had some partying after it, but it was a good day, But last but not least, I made an impression because I ticked all the right boxes, I got myself stuck in, I used my own initiative, and that ended up with me getting my graduate role. So the commercial graduate role has two objectives, and that's to build the relationships with the international clients that we have. Now, we've had all the presentations from all the different organisations, but I do know these people on a daily basis. It's fantastic, because it's not just one sector I'm working in all different sectors. I'm also driving innovation, so I'm involved with a lot of the software that's being built and all the new ideas and all the new products that are coming to the market, because as a software company, we constantly need to keep on our toes in regards to our competitors. So just now, I'm on a 6-month placement with the account executive, so that's where I'm building my rapport with my client bases. I'm talking to CEOs on a daily basis, which I love, and not a lot of people my age can say that. So I'm managing my clients from their first initial stage of getting the software, working through their projects, and then at the end of it, they'll probably come back because we're such a good company and we're great consultants that they want to buy more from us. And that's exactly what we do. We develop opportunities within our client business. So BA might have it in one sector, but think of baggage or something like that. We might have another area that they think, oh, maybe Simulate would be good for this or to improve the process. Let's use it for that. And as I said before, we identify new user bases, and from that, by asking the right questions, using our soft OR skills, we can develop new products, such as Design Sim for Care, which is a new product within the healthcare team, which our lovely glamorous assistant Tom, who's out in the stand, he will be able to demonstrate that for you. So, as I said, I'm doing 6 months as an account exec now, and then I'm doing 6 months within the consultant opportunities. And that's basically for me to gain a bit more experience within the industry. I'm not healthcare specific, I'm more into manufacturing, so I want to go out there, shadow my consultants on the projects that they're working on, so I can get the jargon, so I can understand the lingo, and understand a lot of like lead cycle times, tack times, all these different phrases that are used within operational research that you need to know to use simulation modelling. And that's one thing that I've learned a lot as well. A lot of manufacturing companies are using Lean and Six Sigma. I don't know if you guys have went into that, presumably some of you might have, but that's something that I never knew about, and now just through Simulate I've been able to gain that experience. Project management, done it at uni, did all my projects, but when I did the internship, I had the experience of working from scope to delivery of a big project, which I was terrified of, but thankfully it went okay. And I'm getting involved with the professional services that we offer, such as training and online coaching to our clients. And finally, we're working for multi-million-dollar projects with Fortune 500 companies, and it's great to just be part of a company that is a tool used within OR very heavily. And that's something that I would really say to you guys is, okay, you can go to all these different companies and look at different sectors, but why don't you just look out of the box and go deeper and say, okay, I can maybe work in, what does this do, what are the opportunities that I can get for this? And always think out of the box. That's probably my message for you guys. Roles available. If you want to find more about this, because I'm thinking I'm running a wee bit of time, I'm okay, but we do have internships available, and then we're always recruiting for graduates. There's not really a timeline on that, so please, as I said, it's a really easy application process. Just hand in your CV to us today if you like, if you want to, or send it to hire me at simulate.com.